One, and let's see. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Alrighty, good morning, good evening, whatever the case might be in the wonderful world that you all are in Second Life. Hope you're having a great day. This is Jack Backton from Jack's World, and here with Cat, the owner of Second Life Rollerblading Derby Association. Hey, how you doing,
Hello,
Cat?
hello. I am great. How are you? Thanks for having me, Jack.
You doing all right? I'm doing all right, and it's always a pleasure to have you as well. So, let's begin by just talking a little bit about your organization here. How long you been going on?
Well, it's a little bit of a tough question, actually. We started back in, I guess, about late 2010, early 2011. The roller derby was the brainchild of an awesome human named Psycho Starship. He was involved in real life roller derby and decided he wanted to try to bring it to SL, which he did quite successfully. Um, so under his guidance, we ran for about 6 seasons, or 6 years, I guess it was, until about 2016. And then, unfortunately, he could no longer run it, so a couple of us, myself included, took it over from him and kept it going for a little while, and probably another 2 years, I would say. So total, we ran about 8 years, and then we took a bit of a hiatus. Sure, anybody who's been in SL knows that people kind of come and go here. Things happen, real life happens. So it just got to be a little bit too much for us to be able to put the time in. So we
Right.
took a break, and I reopened it. Honestly, just about 6 or 7 months ago is when I kind of started working on it again. So we've been back. A lot of our old players came back, which is awesome. We've had some new people come in. So yeah, so we're still kind of new, but we've been around for a long time, if that makes sense.
All right, I want to welcome everybody just popped into the YouTube chat. Hello, Tabby, Cammy. Hope you all having a great day.
Tabby, hi Tabby.
All right. Now since you took over, what have you done as far as a community-based organization? Are you reaching out to other communities? Or are you just doing your own thing? Tell me a little more about that.
Well, we are kind of doing our own thing at the moment, still trying to build our own community, trying to get new people in. In addition to the roller derby, we do have a music club on the sim where we have live singers who are all amazing and DJs on Saturday nights. And we also have a Northern Operations fishing lagoon for anybody who likes fishing. So those are some other things we offer on the sim. We have been involved in other communities in the past. This year we did do some fundraising for Pride. We've worked with Relay for Life. We have worked with suicide awareness and prevention, breast cancer awareness. We've been involved in the SL birthdays in the past as well. So hopefully once we get, going again and get a little bit bigger, we can, jump into those communities again as well, because it's a lot of fun and it's always good to do things for a good cause. Slurda is completely nonprofit, so we don't make money off of anything we do here. Everything that we do make goes right back into the sim, for maintaining our land and getting the entertainment that we hire on the weekends, the live singers and stuff. So we are completely nonprofit. We don't make anything off of it, but we do like to give back to other people. So
Oh, that's cool. Now,
so yeah, we have fun.
is this just a Second Life organization, or do you all have any real world ties?
Um, we, I personally, I've been to roller derby. I do know some people in real life who play. We have in the past had players who have been involved in real life roller derby. As I said, our original owner, he actually became a referee for a real life roller derby team. So yeah, we do kind of base everything off of real life, and we have had people involved in the real life community here as well, but we don't have any actual real life ties to any particular
Okay.
organization.
All
So
right. Now, here's a big question for you. Where do you see your organization in 5 years from now? Do you still see yourself
ooh.
going on strong, or
That's a tough question. I mean, if we get going and we last as long as we did before, yeah, I mean that would be awesome. Second Life is an iffy place, you know. Like I said, people come and go pretty quick here sometimes. You know,
Yes,
things
they
happen that
do.
you can't control. So, I mean, in reality, you know, as far as keeping it going for as long as possible, like, yeah, I would love to still be here. But you know, there's no guarantee with that, so it's hard to say. But yeah, I would definitely like to do this as long as I can here. So as long as I'm here, I'll be doing this. So
Cool. What brought you into roller derby? I mean, from the very beginning. I mean, was it something you grew up watching? I mean, um, I,
I always loved roller skating when I was a kid. I feel like such a nerd saying it, but I used to go to the roller rink like 3 or 4 times a week with my friends when we were kids. Like we would just drive our parents nuts to make them drive us to the roller rink. So I always loved
wow.
roller skating, and I was actually damn good at it. But roller derby is a completely different realm than just going to a roller rink and skating around. You know, it's
Oh
definitely
yeah, yeah.
aggressive. You can definitely get hurt in real roller derby. So I was always a little scared. I did think about joining at one point, but you know, in my old age, I mean, I'm 40 years old at this point, so I'm probably not going to be hitting the track ever in my life. But yeah, I mean, I've always loved roller skating, and I found it randomly here. I was kind of new to SL when I found it. I had only been here maybe about a year, and I was at a store, and I saw a sign, and I clicked on it, and it had information about Slurda in it. And the owner of the store happened to have a team, so I messaged her and we got to talking, and I went down and checked it out, and it seemed kind of fun. So it was probably one of the only things that I ever really stuck with in SL. You know, everybody does things here. I was a DJ, I was a host, I was a stripper. You know what I mean? But this
Yeah,
was probably
right.
the this was the one thing that I stuck with for you know, pretty much my entire SL career, which I believe I've been here for 12 years now. Yeah, 12 years. Look at that.
Now you're a vet like me. It never
Yeah, it's
does.
been a long time. It's been a long time. It's crazy. It's a crazy place, man. It's a crazy
Yeah, I'm
place.
telling you, it's seen a lot of changes throughout the years. A lot of changes.
A lot of changes. I was out of SL for yeah, a good couple of years after we, you know, initially closed Slurda down, and I came back and I had no idea what I was doing. I mean, everything was different. People were gone, places were gone, new places were there. Um, you know, I was clicking some landmarks and I was ending up in people's houses and dungeons and all these crazy places. So yeah,
Uh huh.
it changes fast here. So it's, you know, like I said, I would hope to keep this going, but there's no guarantees. So
All right. Now, with the changing landscape of Second Life, I'm shocked that there's the way sports is overall kind of died out in Second Life. I
I
mean,
noticed that. I noticed that when I came back. I looked and I didn't see a lot of the things that used to be here, like football and hockey. I saw some cheerleading stuff, but it didn't seem like they were very active. So I know wrestling is still kind of a thing here, as far as I'm aware.
mhm.
Um, but yeah, so I think bringing sports back would be awesome because I feel like people come here and they don't really realize the full scope of what you can do here. You know, it's not just, you know, a lot of people come here for the taboo kind of stuff and the sex and the, you know, the obscure things, but there's, you know,
Right.
there's so much you can do here. It's insane.
Oh yeah, you're only limited by your imagination.
But yeah, I mean, as far as like a user created platform, realistically, you know, everything here is for the most part user created, and you know, if you can think it and you can build it, you can do it here. So which is what,
Exactly.
you know, this is what they did. You know, he wanted to build a roller derby, and he got in touch with a scripter and an animator, and he had this pretty cool HUD built. I mean, we're a HUD based game, so it does have a full collision system in it. It's a competitive sport. It's not just roller skating around a track. You know, we've got timekeepers and scoreboards and referees, and it's a legit game. So you know, it's unfortunate that sports kind of died out here because there was a lot of really fun ones.
Yeah, there was back in the day. I mean, now let's see. From the business aspect of it, now you were sitting there talking about your concerts and stuff. Do you have any live performers that are actually, do actually participate in your derby, or you're just bringing in pure outside talent?
I mean, most of the people, as of right now, the people that are participating in roller derby are old players who have come back. Some of their friends. We've, tried to advertise as best we can. We recently just got added to the destination guide on Second Life, which was actually really cool. I was really excited about that. So, we've gotten some new people coming in. Um, Part of the reason we ended up building the club and the fishing lagoon was to sort of bring attention to roller derby as well. So we've gotten some people coming in from that. In the past, we had a lot of sponsors, so different stores that would sponsor the league. And, they would donate items for us to raffle off to raise money, things like that. Some of those sponsors even had their own teams. So we did have stores, bigger, pretty decent stores in the past that had their own teams and, made their own uniforms and stuff like that. So, eventually, we do try to get other communities involved, other stores. I'm always interested in cross advertising for people. If they want to throw our information up somewhere, you can throw your information up here, and it's cool. So, but yeah, so right now we're just trying to get as many people in as possible that might be interested. And if you are a gamer and you're competitive, this is a good place to start.
Now, when I was down here exploring this a little bit, I saw the little billboard where you're looking for not only people willing to play the sport, but you're also looking for referees. How's that coming
Always looking
along?
for referees. Always looking for referees. We can't play games without referees. So we have two different HUDs that we use. There's a skater HUD and a referee HUD. If you guys can see it, it's actually on the track resed out right behind you there, Jack's that kind of multicolored thing.
Let me
So
see if
it's
I can
got
get
buttons
it.
on it.
See if I can zoom around here a little bit.
Yeah, so that HUD back there works in conjunction with our skater HUD. So the HUDs are actually worn. They're not typically resed out. That's just out there right now for practice purposes.
Uh
So typically you would have the HUD, attached to you, and it's got buttons on it. The buttons animate you, and the referee HUD basically controls the skater HUD. So if the referee HUD is turned on, you'll hear whistles. If the sounds are on, you'll hear whistles. You'll see things come up in local chat that shows you, it kind of gives instructions on,
Right.
what you have to do. So yeah, so the referees would wear those, and they're also responsible for kind of keeping track of the skaters. We do have penalties in the game, so the refs are supposed to watch out for those. We have a scoreboard also that works with the HUDs, and the referees would, be working the scoreboards as well and keeping time. So it's basically based right off of real life roller derby. I mean, we play it as best we can here as it would be played in real life. Obviously, there's some things
Right.
that we can't do here. It just doesn't work with physics and stuff like that. But as far as the basic rules go and the basic way the game is played, it's all based off of real life flat track roller derby rules.
But they can be kind of challenging at times.
It can be. It's a pretty easy game to learn. I think the hardest part for some people is getting used to how to use the HUD. Um, it requires both hands, so you're moving around and you're clicking on the HUD at the same time. So people who are gamers tend to have a little bit of an easier time with it. If you've never done that before, there's a bit of a learning curve.
Uh
I had never done anything like that here, and I think I learned the game in, probably less than a month, and really understood it. It's not a very complicated sport. So if you're not familiar with it, anybody who's listening, I would recommend going out and watching the movie Whip It. It's a great movie. It
Oh
stars Drew
yeah, it is.
Barrymore.
It is.
It's such a good movie. So if you know absolutely nothing about roller derby and you want to learn a little bit about it, just go watch Whip It, because it's a great movie in general. So highly recommended.
Now, when you first reopened this, what was your vision? And now this is a two-part question before you answer it. What was your vision, and how close are you to achieving that vision now?
I mean, I think originally, I mean, when I thought about bringing it back, it was just like a couple of people and people I had skated with before, and we just rezzed a track out somewhere. I forget where we were. and we were just kind
Hmm.
of playing around, and we got to talking about it. Oh, it would be cool if we brought it back, and I kind of thought about it for a little while. It's a lot of work. So my goal
Yeah, I
right
can
now
imagine.
is to not be quite as serious with it as we were in the past, but be serious enough for people to want to come back and continue to have fun with it. Um, in the past, we had, I think at one point we had like 6 teams. So we were running practices every week. We were running, games like a couple times a month, and it gets to be a lot. I mean, managing even just a small handful of people in Second Life and trying to get people together is difficult.
Oh yeah,
I mean, anybody who's ever had any kind of anything here, a club, business, it's very hard to get people together. Everybody's in different time zones. Some people are all the way across the world. It's 7 p.m. for one person and 3 a.m. for another. So
exactly. Yeah, it can
it's
be.
it's
It can be a
it's
pain.
very difficult. So I think my vision was to kind of just get some people together to have fun. I think I went a little bit beyond my vision and kind of got more people than I expected, and I'm taking it a little farther than I initially had thought I would. Um, but at the same time, we're still keeping it fun and not too much work, and a little bit more on the low key side than it used to be. I still want to have competitions. I still want to have people come down and watch our games. Maybe in the future, 6 months from now, because again, we haven't been around for that long. So like maybe 6 months to a year from now, we can take that step to do it more like we used to. But right
Uh-huh.
now, I just want to, build a group of people. Have a couple of teams. We can, play each other for fun. And do all of that. And, down the road, maybe if more people join and we can get more teams, then we can, start taking it a little bit more seriously, more like we used to do.
How many
But
teams
again,
you
it
got
was a lot
going
of
right
work.
now? Or
So currently we don't have any definite team. Well, I don't want to say definite. We don't have any set teams. The people that have been participating on a regular basis, we have enough players to form probably about 3 teams right now, which is awesome. So right now we are just doing practices because a lot of the people are new. We're trying to get people to learn and figure out what they're doing before we go crazy with, trying to hold actual competitions and stuff. So we have enough people right now for about 3 teams. I'm in the process of hopefully teaching a couple of them how to referee, so that will help. And I'm hoping within the next couple of months we can actually start doing, legit competitions and legit games or bouts as we call them.
for those of
So
y'all that just tuned, sorry to mean to interrupt, but for those of y'all that just tuned in, welcome. I am Jack. If you're new to the channel, and we're sitting down here today with Cat, owner of the Roller Derby Second Life Association.
hello, hello. It's nice to see you all.
We hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are. Now, it sounds like you have a lot of fun with this. And you mentioned something about your partner. Does he do anything with the organization, or is he just like?
He's gonna yell at me for this. He does all of our clerical stuff. No, he he does skate with us sometimes. He actually is more so in charge of the music venue that we have. So he does all the booking for the live artists that we get and the DJs there. And he runs all of our fishing competitions for the Northern Operations Lagoon. So he's sort of in charge of those things, and I'm sort of in charge of the roller derby. I do have some awesome help, though. Tabby, who I think is listening in, is one of my biggest helpers. She is one of my managers. She's been with roller derby before I was, I think, even. Tabby's been around. She's an old lady. So she definitely is somebody that you can always go to if you want to learn more about it or you have questions. I
We see
also
her text
have.
and we see her in Yahoo. I mean YouTube chat. Good to meet you there, Tabby. Hope you're having a great day.
Tabby Tabby. We love Tabby. Yeah, and we also have Celeste, Hey Girl. They are right up there with me, and they're there to help with practices and things like that. So I am looking to start to train some people to help with refereeing and maybe get a head referee in there so they could start doing the ref trainings on their own, because it's a little bit of a different HUD. So typically we like people to learn both HUDs so they can do both, obviously.
Right.
But if you're not interested in skating, or it's not for you and you want something that's a little bit on the calmer side, refereeing is definitely awesome, but you do need to learn the game to be able to ref up, of course. So, I do have people helping. But yeah, Vaughn, my partner, he kind of handles the clerical stuff for the club and the fishing stuff. So he stays uninvolved in Slurda. But we do beat him down on the track, and it's a lot of fun. They pick on him at practice. It's cute.
Oh, they do they?
They do.
That poor man.
He takes it well.
Well, that's a good thing, then, It's all in fun at the end of the day, If you're not,
it is all in good fun. We have a lot of fun, honestly.
exactly.
So
Yeah. If you don't enjoy what you're doing, then you shouldn't be doing it. My motto, quite honestly.
yeah, I mean, honestly, it sounds like super cliche probably, but if it wasn't for roller derby, I probably would have left SL years ago and never come back.
Well, you're still here, and that says a lot.
Yeah, no, it's definitely what kept me here, because I met so many cool people, like so many fun people, so many unique people. We had a really, really good community. I'm actually really glad that a lot of the people that were around then are still around now, because there's also some people that aren't around that I wish were, but that's how it goes.
All right. For those of y'all that are in the chat, if you all can hear us fine, just let us know. If there's any type of problems, type in 2 for a problem, 1 if everything sounds good and clear. And I'll try to do some adjusting if need be. Now, as far as the overall venue, you say you do concerts. Is it all just strictly live performers, or do you do cover bands? Or tell me more about that.
So we've had quite a few live singers. Vaughn and I have always really enjoyed just going out and seeing live music. I'm a huge live music junkie in real life too, so it's just something I've always loved to do, and I just think it's really cool that people do it here too. And a lot of the artists here are incredible. But yeah, we've had live singers. We do have some DJs. We have had. Just this past week, actually, we had Fish Lips, who are I can't describe them. They're hilarious, but they are a live 3-piece band, and they basically just stream their jam practices. So they're all in the same room in, I believe, Kalamazoo, and they're a good time. If you guys haven't seen Fish Lips, if you're listening, go see Fish Lips, because they're so much fun. And we've also hosted in the past, not on this sim, but on the sim that we were on before this. I had a different spot. This is a newer spot. We had the Elysian Cabaret and Kinetics Dance, and those ladies are amazing. I know you interviewed Baby P not long ago. They are incredible. So we did have them set up a stage here at the track, and they did one of their sets here, sort of like a burlesque kind of thing.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
She was telling me about that when I had her on the show last week, and she speaks very highly of your organization and you as well, and everybody that's involved.
She's an incredible person. She is an incredible human. All those girls are incredible. They do such amazing work. They put so much time into it. I mean, if you can't appreciate what they do here, I've seen other dance troupes and things like that, and they're all very good, don't get me wrong, but those girls put an incredible amount of time into their work. It's awesome. If you haven't seen them, go see them.
Oh yeah, they are great. It was a fun interview there with them too. I did it with Baby P and Paul. Yeah, that was a fun show in itself.
Yeah, P's a good time. She's funny.
Yeah, she's hilarious. Do you want to talk about anything you might have coming up this week for the venue, or do you have anything?
Let me see. What do we have coming up? I can check my Google Calendar. So, on Wednesdays, so that's actually today, we do have one of our fishing competitions. It's the Again, Northern Operations Fishing HUD, not the Seven Seas one. They're similar. So we use Northern Operations here, and we have our Wednesday Whopper contest. So whoever catches the biggest fish gets a big dumb trophy and a T-shirt. It's fun. But we have Local Voice on down there. Everybody can chat and hang out. It's just a good crowd of people. Sometimes a lot of random people come in that we've never met before, and they end up being really awesome, and then they stick around and they come hang out. So if you guys like fishing, that's something that you can look into. And then this weekend, let me see what we have going on here this weekend. Friday, I forgot about this. Friday, we actually got a go-kart track. So we're going to be setting up a go-kart track, and we're going to have some go-kart races. We also have a DJ. That's DJ Lila. She is also one of our skaters, and she also DJs at the Wet Spot, which is another really cool club. If you haven't been there, go there. So yeah, Lila will be DJing while we're having go-kart night. So if you guys want to come race around and listen to some good music, that's Friday at 5 p.m. And then we also have fishing again on Sunday. So we do fishing every week, Sundays and Wednesdays, and then our live music and DJs typically on Saturdays, but occasionally we'll do a special event on a Friday. So
very cool, very cool.
Yeah, and if you guys want to creep, you can go into my profile, and there is a link to my Google Calendar on there, so that has all of our events listed on there as well.
Yeah,
and we have an event calendar here at the track.
I was getting ready to bring that up. If you had any type of website or blog that you want to direct people to and tell them more about your organization, now would be a great time to do that.
The best place to get information is to just come straight down to our sim. We are in the process of working on a Discord, so that'll be available soon. But if you want information on any of the events here, you can join the Slurda Roller Derby group, so you can search that in World if you want. If you join that group, you'll get information not just on roller derby, but I do send notices when we're having events at the club and any kind of special events that are going on. So you can join the Slurda Roller Derby group for that. There is an info board down here as well as a demo HUD, and anybody is welcome to come to the track anytime they want to just play around with the demo HUD. Even if nobody's here, you can just kind of read the information and see what it is. So we do our practices at the track every Tuesday at 6 p.m. So if you're interested in coming down to an actual practice, you can do that. And again, join the group so you can get notices on that so you remember.
Now, you all use any type of application forms to apply for positions with your organization, or what's that?
So, as far as being a skater, at this time there is no application. You are required to join the group, and obviously you have to purchase a full version HUD. The full version HUDs are 175 Linden. To be able to participate in any actual games, you do need to come to the practices. So you can't just join and then only come for the games. You do need to attend at least 2 of our practices a month. And you need to know what you're doing because, even though we're having fun, we do take it a little seriously. So we want people to really learn it. So it does take a tiny bit of dedication. We are going to open up more practice days pretty soon. So we're hoping to do Tuesdays and Thursdays just to allow more people to be able to participate. Because once a week is just, I do know it's not enough to get people to come, more regularly.
Right. When I was down here exploring a little bit and trying to get a feel for a place to do some preparation for the interview and stuff, it seemed kind of dead when I was down here, to be quite honest with you. But
yeah, we typically don't have traffic unless something is going on. It's not it's not a place where people are at all the time. So typically our traffic is on our practice nights or when we're having events. So you might find me here or one of the girls skating around randomly. I'm usually here doing something. But if you want information, I'm always around. Anybody can always message me. If you're on the sim, there's a manager's board, so it'll tell you if we're online or not, and you can always, feel free to hit up me or Tabby or Celeste or Hit Girl. Anybody who's here would probably be able to help you out too. So
that sounds like you really got all your ducks in a row. And it sounds like you all have
one of them's a pigeon.
Oh, man.
But I I appreciate the compliment, Jack. Thank you. You guys hear that? I got my ducks in a row.
Oh no.
But yeah, no, I mean, I managed the old roller derby, when we were, back in the day. So I kind of already had all the things that I needed to build this and to do what I wanted to do. I knew what I was doing and, what I wanted here. I
Hmm.
just had to make it happen. So it's still a little bit of a work in progress as far as, getting people in and getting people interested. But again, that's part of why I'm here today to talk to you about it and to hopefully, get the word out there to some people. So.
Right. Now, let's see. I had a couple more questions. I'm sitting there looking for my notes, so bear with me here a little bit. And I think we pretty well covered everything that I had written down. So I guess we're just going to enter in the free for all type section of it. If there's anything you want to talk about, we can have at it. Just throw something out there and let's see what sticks on the wall, shall we?
No, I mean, I just think, it's. I'm glad that you do this. It's cool that people do this with YouTube and things like that. Like there's a lot of bloggers out there that just blog clothing and, all these events that are just kind of redundant and repetitive, like, oh, this
Right.
shopping event again, like, cool. Okay, there's, I love shopping, don't get me wrong. Like, I am obsessed with changing my avatar. I have hundreds of hairs and all kinds of crap that I've never even worn. Like, it's insane. And, it's cool that people spend the time to do that. And I appreciate, the fashion bloggers and whatnot. But
Oh, they definitely have their purpose in Second Life
yeah,
and
and
on
it's
YouTube.
awesome. I mean, people make a living in Second Life. A lot of people here make a living in Second Life, and without those fashion bloggers and things like that, their stores might not be as well known. But it's you don't see people blogging stuff like this very often. There's a lot of really cool Sims out there. There's a lot of really cool builds, and people do. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen any of the art installations that people do here, but
Oh
some of
yeah,
it's pretty incredible.
I love
And
going to the
it
art
just
gallery
doesn't get
sometimes.
enough attention, and things like this and things like, art and live music and stuff, it just doesn't get enough attention because, like I said before, a lot of people come here for, the sex and the taboo stuff. And that's cool if that's what you're into, but
Right.
people also come here not knowing what they're into or not knowing what they want to do, and that's all that they find. It's hard to find the different stuff, the
That's why
original
I was
stuff, the
trying to
stuff that you
break.
don't see a lot of.
That's the reason why my focus during this little series is the all different kinds of communities that they're in Second Life. I got some other interviews lined up later on this week. I'm hoping to bring a light to a bunch of different things, quite honestly. And if y'all haven't gone to any poetry readings before, I would strongly suggest
I
you do that
have.
as well. I mean,
I actually have, yes. And spoken word, I've gone to some spoken word things, which are really cool.
yeah,
And I give people a lot of credit too. I give people a lot of credit for, stepping up there and doing stuff like that because I'm not a performer, I'm not an artist, but some people, that's what they love and it's their passion and they maybe
uh-huh.
can't do it in real life. And I think it's cool that, you can do things here that you can't do in real life that you love.
And some of the
So.
art galleries around here is amazing too. I mean, I don't know if you've gone to very many of them or not, but yeah, there's some amazing artwork out here.
Yeah, there is. I mean, there's a lot of really cool Sims where there's I cannot remember their name off the top of my head, but they have a really cool sim that they change all the time, and it's all original mesh, original art. You can tell that some of the things that are in the world are hand drawn, and it's just really cool because they work so hard on it, and I don't think a lot of people really look at that stuff here. I mean, I know I do, but I don't think a lot of people do.
Okay, we have a question in chat here. Is SLW available to any gender? If I'm reading it
Uh,
correctly.
Actually, yes. In the past, we were a female avatar only league. If you're familiar with roller derby, the majority of roller derby, it is a female dominated sport basically. There are some co-ed teams out there, co-ed leagues and whatnot, but they're kind of few and far between. So we used to be female, and when I came back and, started building everything again, I was like, you know what? F it. Whoever wants to skate can skate. So yes, we are open to all genders. The only stipulation that we have is you must be an adult human. So no animal avatars, no furry avatars, no child or teen avatars. We are an adult sim. We are not exactly family friendly, so no kids. Sorry, I love kids, but not on my sim. But yeah, so open to all genders. You just need to be an adult and a human. I have nothing against furries or animal avatars or alien avatars or biomechanical things. It just doesn't work with our systems. It's distracting on the track. Let me put it that way.
Right. And Second Life is great in this aspect. You can create your own community to be what you want it to be. Same way with your stores, same way with your clubs. You have the freedom to do that.
Yeah, and I don't have, there's no room for hate on our sim for anyone. I'm a very open person. I don't really judge people at all. If you want to come skate, and we've had in the past, we had plenty of males who skated in female avatars. It's totally cool. But I don't think it's necessary, to force that, in Second Life. You could do what you want to do here, so let's change it up a little bit. But yeah, so I mean, we welcome everyone. If you want to come watch, as long as you're not participating on the track, I don't care what kind of avatar you're in if you're just hanging out. Again, just no children because it's an adult sim. But yeah, if you're actually skating, just be a human. That's all I ask.
And nothing wrong with it at all. You gotta sit down. You gotta have your own set of rules for every place you go. Otherwise, things can get out of control.
Yeah, I mean, our rules, we don't have a whole lot of rules, the game has rules, let me put it that way, but as far as our community and our sim, basically just don't be a jerk, don't be a racist or a bigot, come here to have fun and not cause problems, and we're all going to get along fine.
And that's what it should be. We're all here to have fun in Second Life and to get away from the stresses of our real world. Some people bring their drama from one world into the other, and that can
I never really understood that.
Neither did I, quite honestly.
It's very, very hard. I mean, I have, plenty of stress in real life, not that my life is terrible in any way, but, we all have stress, we all have things going on, and I come here to have fun and relieve, my stress and to just hang out with people that I know aren't going to judge me, and we have the same, likes, and we can just hang out and have, not that I can't do that with my real friends too, but during the week you come home, you're not going anywhere, you just want to hang out and have some fun. This is what you do. Exactly. It's a great place.
Yes, it is. I agree.
And it can get a little stressful when you do have drama. I've seen drama. I've been involved in drama. I've had people be completely awful to me, and it sucks. But I think it's a little bit easier to get over it here than it is when it's, someone in your real life, for sure.
Exactly.
But that is another cool thing about Second Life is, you form legitimate friendships with people here. I've had friends here for, going on 12 years that I still talk to, like Tabby. Right. Tabby, known Tabby for a long time. But yeah, it's cool to be able to have relationships with people here, but, also disconnect from all of that if you need to.
Exactly. Everybody comes to Second Life for one reason or another, and it's not always the same reason as somebody else.
No, but you're always going to find somebody that's here for a similar reason, and I think that's the cool part. No matter what you're here for, there's somewhere to go for it. And if there isn't, you build it yourself.
Exactly.
And then you'll find people that are also here for it, and you didn't even know it was a thing. I mean, there's things in SL that I did not know were things. Okay, sometimes it gets a little crazy, and then there's also, lines that you just, I choose not to cross. So,
Right.
um, but yeah, this place is, I don't even remember how I found this place. I think I was actually watching a show, and I don't remember what it's called. But it was about a guy who was an animator here, and by day he was just, kind of like a normal dude, wife, kids, white picket fence, puppy, and then at night he would come on to SL and he would create like sex animations for like sex furniture and stuff. And I was like, is this like The Sims? What is this? So I signed up and I was like, wow, this is not what I thought it was. And I was kind of on and off for the first few months, and then I kind of got a little bit more into it and started actually finding things to do and figuring it out a little bit. And, then I just kind of never left. Well, I did leave for a little while, but came back. We always come back, right?
Yeah, eventually. And sometimes a break will do you some good too. I mean,
Yeah, I think it did because at one point, it wasn't that SL was stressing me out, but I found myself being more obligated to SL than I was to my real life. You know what I mean? It was like, oh,
yeah,
I can't go out tonight. We have a bout, or oh, I have to be home at this time because we have roller derby pride. It's like, wait a minute, what am I doing?
yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I mean? So now, it's and we're talking. This was like 12 years ago too. So now things are a little different in my life, and I have a little bit more time in, after work and stuff. I was working crazy schedules back then too. So, but now I have a little bit more time to put into it, and it's something to do. So,
Now, did you handpick this stuff, or did you custom build this on your own, as far as the actual buildings?
so the buildings, no, the buildings were actually, I had an idea in my head, and thankfully, my partner also likes to build, and he happened to have these buildings in his inventory. So it was sort of what I was going for. I wanted like a city look in the middle of the street kind of thing. Like I was just picturing like an urban sort of thing.
Yeah, it's definitely got
Um,
that urban feel. I mentioned that when I did the commercial for the upcoming stream last earlier in the week. This has definitely got an urban type feel to it. I mean,
yeah, so some of it was custom built like back in the day, like the bleachers that you're sitting on. One of our builders, original builders, built that. The track was also custom made for us by a gentleman named Tyler. He's a pretty good mesh builder. I'm not sure if he's still around, honestly, but yeah, so he built the track for us. So some of the stuff, as far as our equipment, is all of our equipment is custom. So the track, the HUDs, the timekeeper, the scoreboard, all of that stuff was custom built for Slurda. So you can't just go buy it on Marketplace. The same with the animations and whatnot in the HUD and the scripts. Those were all custom made, so you can't buy any of this on Marketplace. It's not for sale. The only thing that you can purchase are the HUDs. Um, but yeah, and then the other stuff that you see around, it's just stuff that I've accumulated over time, put things together. I kind of like to build. I'm not great at it, but I can put together an area. So, um,
as long as you enjoy
for the
it.
most part. But yeah, I did the logo. The logo I made myself. We've had a few logos over the years. We've kind of changed them up a little bit here and there, and I wanted to revamp it again for the new league. So I did this logo. Yeah, so some of it is custom, some of it I make myself. Some of it is just stuff we find on Marketplace.
Well, you did an amazing job with it. You know.
Well, I
Oh,
appreciate it. Yeah, I was glad it worked out the way I wanted it to, because we used to have a big arena, which was really cool, but it was, I believe, almost a quarter sim large, so it was really, really big,
mhm.
unnecessarily big, in my opinion. But it was a really cool build. We just didn't have the space for it. I didn't really require that large of a piece of land for what we have going here, so we're just on a smaller parcel than we used to be. So I obviously couldn't put the
Until
whole
you
arena
until
up,
you
but
build up. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I apologize. But until you build up, I wouldn't go any bigger than what you got.
No, I mean the arena was huge. It was, honestly, we didn't even need it back in the day to be that big. It was a little larger than what we really needed, but we also had more going on there at the time. So you're right. Maybe in the future, if we need something bigger, we could definitely add to what we have. But for now, I think we're a pretty good size. So.
I mean, especially if you're doing this as a recreation type thing, you gotta kind of watch your money, input and output and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not cheap. Real estate has definitely gone up in a Second Life. Inflation
Oh
goes
yeah,
everywhere, I
trust me, I know.
suppose.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have a pretty good deal here where we're renting from. I have a couple different parcels here. So, we have my house is on the other side of it, on the other parcel, but we have the club and the track and the fishing area all on one side, and it's just enough for all that, and we still have some prims to spare. So, but yeah, so that's pretty much how it's set up here. And again, we just take our donations, and that goes right back into the land tier. So anything we get from, HUD sales and stuff like that, it basically just helps us keep it going here.
Right. Now, on a personal note, where do you see your avatar in 2 years from now?
Oh boy, that depends on how many new bodies they come out with. It's freaking
Oh man.
crazy. Crazy. I mean,
Well, it's like there's a new body every week, quite honestly.
I mean, hopefully she's not too outdated. I mean, hopefully we're still doing this in 2 years here, and keep myself as updated as possible as far as looks go.
Do you have any other interests you like to do in Second Life, or just it? I'm trying to let people get to know the owner as a person, not just the owner. But
I'm kind of an explorer in Second Life. I've always been a little bit of a loner here. Like, I never really always hung out with big groups of people because I just like to jump around to Sims.
uh,
I really do like photography here. I don't really do it quite as much as I used to. But just bouncing around to different Sims, there's a lot of really cool builds that you see in a lot of really beautiful places. We have done, there's a really cool sim called Yosemite. If you've ever been there, it's like Yosemite National Park, but they've got all kinds of activities. I like to play games here. Games are really fun, not just roller derby, but I like greedy. Again, we have the go-karts, which is cool. I like mini golf, bowling, all that kind of stuff. I do like going to clubs as long as the music is something that I'm interested in.
right.
I feel like clubs are a dime a dozen here, which kind of sucks because there's some really cool looking ones, but there's never anybody at them. But yeah, I love live music here. Live music is definitely something that I do a lot of because I just appreciate people that do that.
Right.
I
Now, Tabby
appreciate.
says
I
in
just always
chat.
appreciate it.
Now, Tabby says here in chat that you got an amazing Flickr page.
I do have a Flickr page. I recently just got rid of my pro account, so sorry, all the naughty ones are gone now. Um, but yeah, I mean, I do take pictures here. I mostly do it for fun. I've done some profile pictures for people and stuff like that. Um, I like photography. I've always liked photography in real life, and I've kind of self-taught at Photoshop, so I know enough to get me by in Photoshop to make my pictures not suck. But yeah, it's fun. I do like it. So if anybody wants a profile picture, you can hit me up. No, I'm just kidding. But you really can if you want. but again, it's just something that I do for fun. If I like an outfit or something like that, I used to blog a little bit years ago, and it's fun, but most people do it for the free stuff that they get, and I just
Yeah.
it takes a lot of time. It's a little painstaking to blog the way some people blog. I didn't really have time for it, but it's fun. Yeah, I like a lot of like horror and fantasy type stuff, so my pictures are a little more on the morbid side, I guess you would say. Some
I've
of them.
noticed it. You got a goth feel to you.
Yeah, a bit goth, a bit morbid, a bit witchy. So I do have a little store here where I kind of make like random things. It's nothing special, just some little knickknacks, gothy little knickknacks, cauldrons and stuff. So, um, But yeah, so yeah, Flickr's fun. I don't do it as much as I used to. I kind of wish I did, but sometimes you just don't have time for it, or
Exactly. There's only so many
forget.
hours in a day.
Exactly, exactly.
Oh man, I mean, now I've been toying around with the idea, and I've even talked to P about it a little bit with her organization. Would you be open to maybe taking a day one of these days and allowing me to follow you around like a day in the life of a rollerblader or something of that
Absolutely.
nature?
Yeah, yeah, we could totally do something like that.
I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, or if you wanted to come down and check out a practice, talk to some of the girls here. We have a pretty incredible group of people, so they're all a lot of fun. So yeah, absolutely, I would definitely be interested in something like that.
Well, that's cool. Didn't mean to put you on the spot by asking you that on air, but
Ah, it's cool. Yeah, no, something like that would probably be fun.
be another way to generate some interest in your group and what you got going on here, I would think.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
sure some of the other girls might be interested in doing something like that too if you wanted.
oh, sure. Just anybody that might be interested in that, contact me. We can set something up.
I'm looking at you, Tabby.
Yeah, Toby, it could be a lot of fun, quite honestly.
Tabby got quiet.
uh,
Tabby's like, now.
I think it's a 90 comment you about your pictures. You're talking about, I'll buy that for $1. Not just kidding.
Listen, Flickr Pro is expensive, all right?
Oh,
It was
yeah,
done.
I know exactly it is.
Done. Like getting rid of
Oh,
all these subscriptions. No more Flickr, no more Netflix. Done.
man, things have all over have gotten really high. Inflation in both worlds is outrageous.
Yeah, I was actually pretty surprised to see like how much more expensive things have gotten here. Just even when we were looking for this piece of land, I was doing comparisons on prices and stuff like that, and this was definitely the best deal for the price and the amount of prims, and it's a legitimate place that's been around for a very long time. Um, so I knew I trusted it. But I was looking at some of the other prices, and it was crazy. I was like, wow, used to be able to get triple that as far as prims go for the same price. It was nuts. Yeah, everything's crazy
It's
expensive, but
yeah, it's
yet
just
we still spend money in SL and we still go shopping the Saturday
yeah, I
sale, right?
know, right.
Here we are.
Oh man, but it's still fun though being here. As long as you don't let all that stuff get to your head and take things the
Yep, you
wrong
just
way too
gotta.
seriously and all that.
Well, and I think a big part of that is just finding the right group of people to hang out with. There's always going to be those people, no matter where you go and who you hang out with. But I mean, I have a pretty solid group of people that I've been friends with here for a long time, and it's just a matter of finding your people.
Yeah, Carly, I think we'll definitely come down here and maybe film a live practice one of these days as well. Because they said that something about that in the chat. That'd be something I'd be interested in doing. As long as everybody else is on the same page with it. Do a practice, maybe do a
Yeah, we
video
could
on.
definitely live stream a practice.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, and Carmi, if you're interested at all, just hit me up in World or come down. You guys can come down to the track if you want. Tabby, you could come down here and hang out. We're open. We're always open.
Oh yeah. I don't bite too hard.
I do. Careful now. We won't hurt
oh,
you.
oh now. She's a biter, folks. She just admitted it.
Yeah, whoever's listening, come on over and hang out. We're just sitting here hanging out on lawn chairs.
Well, let's see here. We're into our last couple of segments. Is there anything that we were supposed to talk about that we haven't gotten to yet that you can remember? Because
I mean, I
I,
think I pretty much covered everything as far as, the basics go. Something that everybody should know is if you do come down and you want to participate, or even if you don't want to participate but you want to hear what's going on, we are a voice enabled sim, so you do need to be able to at least hear local voice to participate or to watch, because we just don't typically type. Um, Especially at practices. So, in games and stuff, we would be in voice calls, and then at practices, we're always in local voice. So you do need to be able to at least hear. If you're not comfortable talking and chatting and stuff, that's totally cool. But as long as you can hear what's going on, um, that's one of our important stipulations there. I don't think I mentioned that. Yeah, no, and again, there is a demo HUD, so if anybody wants to just come down and grab one, the track is always open. Even if we're not here, you are welcome to, put the demo HUD on and just skate around and get an idea. There's instructions in there for it, and a diagram of the HUD that tells you what all the buttons are. So I tried to make it as simple as possible for everybody when they grab a demo HUD to get an understanding of the game if you're not familiar at all.
nice job on the scoreboard, by the way. I noticed that when I was down here the first time.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, the scoreboard was one of our custom built pieces. So the scoreboard and the HUDs, they all kind of work together, which is really cool. It's a pretty cool system, actually. They did a really good job on this, the scripters and the animators.
I'm blown away by all the work you put into this. I mean, it looks really, really nice.
I appreciate it. I can't take credit for the HUDs. That was not my doing, obviously. I, became owner not that long ago. So, but yeah, so I can't take credit for the scripting, the HUDs, all that stuff. That was all kind of developed, without me being involved. But as far as everything you see here, this is all me.
Truly a wonderful job. Alrighty, everybody, we're going to be entering our last few minutes. If there's any questions you will have in chat, now's the time to shoot them our way, and we'll do our best to answer them. For everybody that's tuned in today, if you've liked the broadcast and you want to see more content like this, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like button and tell all your friends about Dratch World and her organization here in Second Life as well. And well, it's just amazing to have everybody out here tonight and tuned in as always. Thank you all so much for sharing your time with us. But like I said, in the last few minutes, if y'all have any questions at all, shoot them in the chat right now and we'll get to them the best we can. And the room goes quiet. Woo!
It's because I did such a good job of explaining everything that everybody knows everything about roller derby right now.
Hey, applaud. So there you go. Great job.
Yay, me. I did it. Yeah, but I mean, in the future, if anybody does have any questions or, anything like that, feel free to shoot me or either, anybody in the group, actually. Anybody is helpful in the group. So join the group, and like I said, you can grab info, you can grab the HUD, but anybody is welcome to message me. And I'm also willing to, kind of do little one-on-ones with people too, because it can be a bit overwhelming to come to a practice and there's, 10, 15 people here. And you have no idea what you're doing. So, I am willing to work with people kind of one-on-one or in smaller groups, just to kind of get you started before you come to a practice. So that's always an option, and I know Tabby's always willing to help people out. Celeste, Hit Girl, any of our regular skaters are, pretty willing to help people out. So if you catch one of us at the track, you always ask questions.
All right, for those of y'all that might be tuning in later on and watching this at a later date, skip around the stream at any point in time to catch what you might have missed. If you're coming in towards the back end of this, and we're bringing everything to a close, you got just a few more minutes to get in any questions you might have so we can help you out with that. Otherwise, it's been a joy and to have me here down here tonight. Thank you for letting us come down here and do this, Cat. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me. Thank you. This was cool.
Oh, you're welcome. I had a great time. Now, this has been Jack Baxton with Cat, and this has been Jack's World. Y'all haven't already, subscribe, like, share with your friends, and we will see you all next time. Y'all have a great one.
Bye,
Oh.
everybody. Thank you.
Catch y'all in the next one. Okay.